Everyone, welcome to the Cup of Joe show. I'm Joe. That's Jeremy. We're here to talk to you for, a little while about some movies. Um, Also, a big trailer dropped, and we have some other trailers as well that dropped this week. But the big one dropped today, Friday. Um, so we will get to that later. But we're going to start off, as we always do, well, usually with a movie review. We saw um, trying to think of adjectives to describe the series of the Hunger Games. You get it. So, um, the highly anticipated Hunger Games, the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Um, so, we've got Part 1 of the last book, which is Mockingjay. Of the book, they split into two parts, obviously. Just want to get the obvious out of the way. Um, my thoughts that are that Mockingjay Part 1 is the probably the best movie that it can be, being part one of that last book, that probably worst book. That being said, it doesn't make it okay that it was made. It's just that it's in my opinion, it's the best that it could have been. It has some very interesting and cool parts. I do enjoy the propaganda. The propaganda is very interesting, and there are some cool rebellion scenes. Um, I think that once when she sings that song,
The Hanging Tree.
The Hanging Tree. I mean, that's probably where the movie peaks, really. Um, so, uh, Jeremy's gonna sing it
No,
later.
I'm not.
The whole thing, every word. So
That'll be our music video for this year.
yes,
Instead of Let It Go.
absolutely. So yeah, I mean there are cool parts, but ultimately no, this the movie, it's just not worth it to me. This is my opinion. Um, it just didn't have enough in it. It's just, it obviously drags. I guess that being said, like I said, it's the best it could have been. So I mean, the acting was really good. Um, the thing that actually bothers me about the film is that Catching Fire ended with Katniss's facial transformation, and then Mockingjay Part 1 begins with her as the same exact girl she is in the last film. That bothers me. So she's actually still building by the end of this film, really. So it's just, that great facial transformation scene at the end of Catching Fire it's a lie. It's a lie, and that's what kind of annoys me. Yeah, I mean, I guess other than that, good performances, a few cool parts that I didn't really expect, but ultimately, I don't want to say a worthless film, because there are so many worse films out there, but it's just a film that didn't need to be made and was just an obvious cash grab.
Well, that was a pretty negative assessment there.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I'm not gonna be quite as hard on it, I suppose. Even if in some respects I do agree, and largely I do have kind of problems with the whole split the last book thing. Harry Potter did it well. Then again, Deathly Hallows was like 800 pages long and had a lot of story to split, and that was done well. I enjoyed Mockingjay Part 1. It did drag. It was, far from a perfect film. It was definitely a drop in quality from Catching Fire, which, source material isn't as good, and also it was, kind of padded and fluffed, and it had a lot more Effie in it than was in the book, which was in the book for like 2 pages.
It's true.
But Elizabeth Banks killing that performance. So, yeah, I guess I I guess for the most part I agree, but just not going to be quite as harsh with my language. If you're, a fan of the films of the series, you'll definitely enjoy it. It's always nice to see Katniss and Gale and the whole gang up on the screen doing their thing. It has cool parts. It has boring parts. So yeah, part 2 should be better.
I think it will ultimately be, once part 2 actually comes out. I haven't done it with like the Harry Potter films yet, but I think it'll be really cool when like you take part 1 and part 2 and you just take one evening and you just watch the whole thing. I think that'll be really cool, and maybe I'll have more respect for the part 1 at that point. Mm-hmm. But and honestly, speaking of Gale, he's just a weak character to me. I don't even remember if that was the way it was in the book that he was so. But like, I feel like he's just like a weak character. I don't know. What are your feelings on Gale? Because I just feel like he's just there. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think it was like that in the book. But in the movie, I just feel like he's just there because he has to be.
Well, yeah, to an extent. I mean, the book was able to give. More time to his character and to the, relationship between him and Katniss. In the first Hunger Games movie, it's kind of like, they talk a little before the reaping, but in the book, that's built up a lot more. You get more about their history, hunting together and all that kind of thing, and you get an appreciation for, how well they do know each other. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, in the movies to an extent, and I guess maybe more attention has been paid to the Katniss, Peeta,
the love triangle
relationship thing. Yeah, that too. I forget what their couple name is. It's actually something like really. It's something clever, playing off Peeta as bread or something. I don't know. I'll look that up, but it's not bad.
All right. Well. I guess that's it for the movie. Unfortunately, we have more to get to. I would have said something else, but it would have just spurred another rant. And we just don't have that kind of time. We just don't. Now we're going to take it over to Jeremy for the box office. You were just looking that up, weren't you?
I wasn't.
You were just looking, yep. Mm-hmm.
Box office. Okay.
But that's none of my business. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Right. That's a meme.
That's a meme, yep.
Okay, anyway, alright, number 5, again, was Gone Girl. That was down 38% to 2.8 million, a total of 156.9. This movie is just not going away. It's 8 weeks old now, still going. Still should finish around 165-ish or so. So, good for Gone Girl.
Yeah.
In 4th place, we had Dumb and Dumber 2. That crashed 61% to 14 million, total of 57.7. That's obviously not a good hold. Clearly, last weekend, a lot of, fans of the first movie rushing out to go see it, and then they're like, yeah, this isn't that good. So, big drop. Should rebound a bit over Thanksgiving, but I'm still iffy on its chances of hitting 100. Probably going to be more around 90, 95. 3rd place went to Interstellar. That was down 46% to 15.3. Total of 120.9 million. In a perfect world, this would have opened to about 90, dropped to about 75, and then dropped to about 65, and grossed about 600 million, 2 billion worldwide. But
we don't live in a perfect world, unfortunately.
No, we don't.
We live in a world where people like gravity more.
In a better world, Interstellar would have opened to like 75 and made like 300.
Right.
But anyway, I'm totally ranting now. Mm-hmm. So, again, this is just disappointing for Interstellar. the way things are looking, it's going to finish around 100, like 70 million domestically, doing very, very well overseas. So it could still make like 600, 700 million worldwide. So at least foreign countries are there to bail it out.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2 was Big Hero 6. That was down 42% to 20.1 million. Total of 135.7. This is doing pretty well, not spectacularly or anything. It is going to face direct competition from the Penguins of Madagascar over Thanksgiving, so that could kind of hurt it a little. But then again, people have time off and they have lots of time over this weekend, so they could probably take the kids to go see both if they really want to. So I think Big Hero 6 will have a good hold regardless, and still excited for over 200 million. Okay, so our number 1 picture was Mockingjay Dash Part 1. That opened to 121.9 million, and that is by far the biggest opening of the year, but at the same time, actually quite disappointing. When Catching Fire opened to 158, and The Hunger Games opened to 152, and then you drop way down to 122, rounding. That's just, what happened. Even the Twilight movies had more consistency than that. They were all opening right around 140. And this is also less than Deathly Hallows Part 1. So, I mean, maybe, the whole splitting it into 2 parts backfired. That's possible. Or, Mockingjay not being considered one of the better books in the series. So, as to where it goes from here, we have to, the first 2 Hunger Games movies made over 400, and Mockingjay could fall short of 300. If it follows the Catching Fire pattern, it'll get to about 330, and I don't think it will. So it might finish right around 300, which means that Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be the highest-grossing domestic movie of the year, unless something comes out of nowhere. But I can't possibly see anything for the rest of this year getting to that level. The Hobbit is the only thing that has a chance, and I don't think it has a chance. So that made no sense. But no, it's Guardians. That's it. They win.
Yes, and by backfiring, we mean, still making a boatload of money, but, not as much as they thought.
But less.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instead of 10 boatfuls, it's 9.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's the box office. We're going to quickly move into, I know the moment you've all been waiting for, the trailers. The trailers. All right. A few trailers dropped. We'll start with Jurassic World. We're going to keep you waiting for the other one. Just going to keep you waiting. Jurassic World starring Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and other people as well.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it looks good. It's keeping elements of the old film while putting new twists on it. I believe that the dinosaurs are going to be all trained, just like animals, until they make a hybrid and play God. So I really think it's going to be, really cool. I think Chris Pratt looks good. I don't know I just feel like he has to have elements of humor to him. He's Chris Pratt. He just has to. And the whole trailer, he's serious. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but he looks the part. Especially when he's riding a motorcycle with his hunting velociraptors. And that's it. Also scene with the shark and the dinosaur coming up. Amazing. Those were the 2 really amazing things about the trailer. So I'm excited. Yeah.
It looks like it's going to tackle a lot of the same themes as the original Jurassic Park. The whole playing God, trying to, create life and different creatures and all that, and that backfiring kind of thing. So, all with the benefits of 20 years of more advancements in special effects. Yeah, even though the special effects from the original Jurassic Park have actually held up pretty well, which is I
Yeah.
can't even imagine how incredible they must have been. When that movie first came
Mm.
out. That's wow. Or for that matter, Terminator 2, and that must have been some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Anyway, that's irrelevant. So yeah, I wasn't blown away by the trailer or anything, but I think it should be a good flick.
Also, do 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 do. Really cool.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah. So, all right, we got to move on to Star Wars here. Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Star Wars Episode 7, whatever you want to call it. The trailer is here. The movie's a year away, but the trailer is here, and man, it's a pretty exciting trailer that really mashes. It has elements of the good trilogy, which is the first one, and it really has those elements. And the Sith, the evil guy, whoever it's going to be, he looks awesome.
Could be a woman.
Could be a woman. That's a good point.
Could be a robot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I guess that one really blew me away. Just really cool. There were just like 2 lines in it. That was it. It was just like the Force has awakened or something like that, and then the darkness and the light, and that was it. Boom. And J.J. Abrams, it looks great. You can see like the elements of Star Trek that are like in it, but like
It's probably gonna be a ton of lens flare.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, it looks great. I mean, but then again, so did the Phantom Menace trailer. But I mean, I think that they're going to learn from their mistakes here.
Yeah, I think that J.J. Abrams is definitely the right man for the job. There's not a whole lot that this trailer really reveals for you, but then again, the movie doesn't come out for an entire year, but there's just enough there to sell you on it. You see some desert planet stuff, which is presumably Tatooine. You see the Millennium Falcon, some cool stuff, the theme, that kind of, like the scene of the trailer with the Sith person and the lightsaber with the light hilt crossguard thing, whatever you want to call it, which is, some people think it's really stupid, some people think it's cool. I don't know what I think yet. I gotta see it in action, but yeah, Star Wars is cool.
Yeah,
I like it. So
exactly. It's just exciting time for pretty much everybody. I mean, if you don't like Star Wars, I don't know what's wrong with you. Anyway, we just lost some viewers. There's some out there. But anyway, we got to get to these this weekend's upcoming